Hello everybody, hope you're having a great night. I've decided that I am going to use my heatless curlers tonight and I am going to show you my process. Now I know there's a ton of people out there who are way more talented, do an incredible job. I'm sure know many tricks and tips a lot more than I do, but I will show you what works for me about 75% of the time. So here we go. So first you're kind of going to want to like part your hair where you would traditionally want it parted. And we're going to brush it out. And if you have longer hair, you know, like just especially try to be gentle as you work your way through the ends. Just like that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I shed a freaking ton. So after I brush out my hair, I just kind of like run my hands like this and just pull out like any loose ends. It's a nice little comb through. All right. And then you're going to take a spray bottle with water, not texture spray. I did see a couple tutorial videos that were like, oh yeah, use texture spray. And I got some, and to me, like, it just, maybe I'm using it wrong, but like it makes my hair like feel like heavy and maybe a little on the thick gunky side. So water works great. And you don't want to soak it, you just want to get it like enough where it's damp and you can like smooth away any flyaways, if you will. So we're gonna get the top and a little underneath. Just like that. Okay. And then grab your brush and we're gonna brush again. Okay, super. Now you're going to want to make your part so your hair is divided in half. And you just want to like follow along like with the line of where you're parting your bangs. And you can use like, and you probably should, like a comb end or something like straight to actually make it super straight, but you guys have seen enough of me by now where it's like I just kind of wing things. So I'm just using my fingernail to just give me a decent part. And then we're gonna brush again. Perfect. Now that we're parted, I'm going to use a clip to gather one side of my hair to kind of just like help keep it in place a little bit. Just keep it in place. And then I take out my heatless curler band. This comes in the kit. I believe what I got is like called Kitsch or something like that. I'll look it up and I'll link it. But you're gonna basically set this back to like where you would if you were wearing like a headband, you know, like with your bangs in the front. And then I grab another clip and I hold the side of my head, so the curler and my hair, where I will not be working at the moment, and then kind of bend the back so it's kind of out of your way a little bit. There we are. All right, so let's get to wrapping. So I can't do this for all of my hair, and it sucks because like my arms and wrists and hands don't work that way, but at least for the beginning, I will take my first section of hair, and the width of section of hair you grab is going to determine like curl size and stuff. And I like to grab like, I don't know, what is it, a few inches. We're gonna pull it up, straight back, and then you start wrapping around like that. And I try to get it as like close and tight to my head as possible because we are going to be sleeping in this thing, and as you toss and turn throughout the night, it's going to like move around, and you just really want to keep this in place as much as possible. But because I'm holding the end of my hair section as I wrap it around, I can't like grab my brush to brush the rest of it. So again, I'm sure there are many more skillful people than myself who know how to do that and can do that, but like I can't. So. And this usually turns out pretty good. So we're just wrapping just like that. And then use your next section to kind of hold down the end of the previous section, so you don't have like a bunch of weird like kinks and straight pieces, which again, it could happen. I've done this a handful of times now, and I've definitely had instances where like one side of my head is like looking really good, like looking super perfect. The other side looks like I may as well have not done anything at all. So I'm still wrapping. Grab each section. And I try not to like bunch up the twists as I'm going around. Like I'm trying to keep it as flat into the satin heatless curler as much as I possibly can. And it looks like my clip on the other side just fell off. But that's okay because we're almost done here. Alright, and then you're going to grab a scrunchie and hold the end as best as you can in place. Voila. Alright, before we get into this next section, just take the end, the bendy part that's sticking out of your heatless curler, and just kind of like twist it back a little bit, just so it's out of your way a little more. And then we're going to pat down this side. Grab this section of hair right here. And I'm gonna grab a thicker section for this because this is like the heavier part, or the heavier side of my part. And we're wrapping. And honestly, like I swear by this heatless curler. I do. I have a curling iron. I've owned several curling irons, and I have watched videos and spoken with people who do really well with that technique, paid really close attention to like my hairstylists, and for some reason I just literally cannot properly curl my hair. Like it just looks so bad. And I'm sure if I like sat at it and practiced it like a lot more, I'd get better. I mean, as you do over time. But it's a little bit of a time consuming thing, at least for me, like as a starter, if you will. It's a time consuming, like difficult thing. And then it's like, you don't want to spend all this time trying to curl your hair for it to just come out absolutely garbage. And so for me, like this usually works well enough that I'm really happy with the results. And It's a little bit more simple. I think anybody can do this, really. It's like a set it and forget it kind of thing. And then last little chunk here. And you're supposed to keep like this band, the satin band, the heatless curler, like as even as you possibly can, but like I never do. Like I always have one end that's too long. So, all right, last scrunchie. And we're gonna bend that back a little bit. Voila. All right, last little bit. So we're gonna take our spray bottle one more time, now that our hair is wrapped, and just give a nice little mist around front and back. And then I'll take my hands and I'll just kind of like smooth it very lightly. You don't want to be rough, just very, very light. Smooth it like you're smoothing away flyaways. And then these little loose ends, take them and tuck them into the scrunchies on each side so that they're connected. Like the hair that chick wore in the book Heidi. Do one of those numbers. See? Okay. And last little tip here, silk cap. Very important step. Put the silk cap on. It's going to protect your curls and cut down on frizziness. It is not the sexiest look. I know this. But it's worth it because if everything goes well, I will have fantastic, beautiful curls in the morning when I am going to work and will look absolutely polished and beautiful and feminine and like goddess energy, like big time goddess energy. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Again, I am not a professional, guys. I barely know how to do anything at all. So I love you so much. Hope you have a great night, and we'll take a look at what happens in the AM. Bye, and subscribe.